Hieronymous grimaces as he crosses his arms over his chest. "How dare you speak that name in here?" he demands. "William," I say as I jump to my feet, "that wasn't what you said you were going to ask him." I know, William says quickly, "but I need to know." "He's gone," Hieronymus says flatly. "It's nothing you need to concern yourself with." "No, but it is," William insists. "I need to make sure he's really dead and gone, and he's not coming back." If Hieronymus says he's gone, then he's gone. I look between him and Hieronymus. "You said that Potsdam killed him while you were tending to me, and that's how I got my memories back, right?" "We don't need to revisit that night," Hieronymus huffs as he turns away, while William and I exchange uneasy glances. "We both have a vested interest in making sure he's dead," I remind him. "He is dead, right, Hieronymus?" "Do you doubt me?" Hieronymus yells as he turns back around, and for the first time in a long time, I'm staring into the blazing red-brown eyes of Professor Grabiner, not my husband. No, not at all," I stammer nervously. "We just wanted to make sure, that's all. William wants to come back and learn how to teach here, but he wants to make sure it's safe." "Nowhere is safe," Hieronymus snorts. "If you're looking for a profession without any risk of anything going wrong, I suggest you choose another." "I apologize," William says with a modest bow. "I did not mean to question you. Tori's right. I'm just nervous about coming back here. I didn't mean to stir up any bad memories." "I was thinking that maybe we could all have dinner together in the Glen tomorrow night and talk about it," I venture as Hieronymus turns to glare at me. "Not about what happened that night. About teaching. At Iris." "That would be something you should address with Professor Potsdam, not with me," Hieronymus says succinctly. "She's given me her full blessing if I choose to come back here," William explains. "I guess I just want to talk to different teachers and get their take on what it would be like to work with them for a year. I already talked to Professor Coleman, but considering how long you've been here, sir, I thought you'd have a more nuanced view of what I can expect here." To his credit, Hieronymus seems to be considering this. "As a favor to my wife," he says as he gestures towards me, "we will see you at the Glen tomorrow night." "Thank you for your time," William says as he bows in his direction before he turns to me and gives me a quick wave. "I'll see you tomorrow, Tori." "See ya!" I wave at him brightly as he goes and closes the door behind him. Even still, Hieronymus still seems in Professor Grabiner mode as he turns back to me. "What are you doing?" he demands. "William helped look after me when I first started here," I explained to him earnestly, driving the toe of my sneaker into the floor. "And he found out firsthand how evil Damien was when he was a freshman. He has a personal history with him too. Granted, it's not as severe as mine was, but it could have been, maybe. He wants to come back here to spend more time with V and Donald before they graduate, but I think he's scared. I don't need him inviting questions and doubts into my own," he starts, but I can't help but interrupt him. "What doubts?" I ask him. "You said that Damien was dead, and I believe you. I've never doubted you." I hesitate. Although the way it's making you mad, it is making me wonder if there's more to the story than I know. Hieronymus sighs. "Do you trust me, Tori?" I nod my head. "You know I do." "And if I'm asking you to take my word for it that he's dead, that he's never coming back on this campus, will you take my word for it?" Hieronymus asks. He looks tired all of a sudden, and I can't help but pout as I nod my head. "I trust you, implicitly. You know that," I remind him. "You wouldn't lie to me. And even if you did, it's because you have a good reason for it. Like because you're trying to protect me. We don't keep secrets from each other." I think about how I still haven't told him about my independent study with Jason and can't help but sigh to myself. Hieronymus is already mad at me, but do I really want to make things worse for myself? "What is it?" Hieronymus asks as he sees the look on my face. Nothing," I say quickly as I shake my head from side to side. "I'm just surprised that you're still up and dressed, I guess. I thought you might have already gone to bed." How could I? Hieronymous demands as he crosses his arms over his chest. I had to stay up and make sure you were all right. All right? I shake my head. You know I went off with Virginia to meet with William. It wasn't like I was going anywhere dangerous. Oh, so you don't consider the trails late at night dangerous now? Hieronymous demands. He raises an eyebrow, but I still can't get past his cold, calculating stare. Wait, how did you know I was on the trails? I ask immediately, crossing my arms over my chest in my own defensive position. Were you spying on me? Tori, I could feel your heart beating out of your chest. I had to make sure you were okay. He doesn't say altogether unkindly, but he still looks irate. Considering what happened last year, I think it's in both of our interests that I keep a close eye on you. My jaw opens and closes at the implications as this suddenly sinks in. You've been casting farsight on me, haven't you? I demand. You've been watching me all this time without me being aware of it? And you haven't? Hieronymous demands. No, I haven't, I exclaim, because I'm apparently just an idiot who didn't think that I could do that. Or maybe I just respect your privacy too much to spy on you when you don't know I'm watching. You're on a public campus, Tori, Hieronymous reminds you. Potsdam has eyes and ears everywhere. Never assume I don't. I flush, but more so with the realization that the secret that I've been keeping from him has gone on for far too long now. So you know what my independent study is about, then? I do, Hieronymous says quietly, but he doesn't look mad now, just tired. For some reason, this fuels my anger more than his. And you didn't say anything, I demand? I've been torturing myself for weeks, wondering how I was going to tell you because I didn't know which part would get me into more trouble. Would it be because Jason was teaching it? Was it because I was practicing warding? Would it be because we were going to the other world for our final? Hieronymous just shakes his head. As much as I dislike him, this is your independent study, Tori, and far be it for me to discourage your education. He shakes his head. And, as I'm sure you've gathered by now, Potsdam would never let students enter the other world. You're a special exception, but the final that you speak of is a simulation, nothing more. I just stare at him, dumbfounded. I knew the other world was forbidden, but I figured that maybe things had changed, or it would be allowed so long as we were accompanied by a teacher. No, it turns out, Hieronymous, I know my biggest secret all along, and not only that, but I couldn't hide my embarrassment that I hadn't been able to figure out something so obvious for myself. A tense silence descends between us. So that's it then? I ask at length. You're not going to yell at me or hit me or throw me across the room or throw me in a dungeon? Hieronymous just shakes his head. Why not? This seems to snap him back to himself. You want me to hit you? Well, no, I say as I shift my weight from foot to foot. I wanted to tell you at first, but then I thought you'd get really mad and tell me that you didn't want me learning anything about it, so I didn't say anything. But then the longer I waited to say anything, I figured the worse it would be for me. I'm not mad, Tori, Hieronymous says simply. Just disappointed. Okay, that's worse. I can feel my fingers twitching at my sides. My anger is gone now, and I can't help but feel like I'm about to cry. I was so happy to see William earlier. Why did it always seem like on days when I had such emotional highs that I suddenly fell to such emotional lows? Please punish me, I say softly. At least whenever I was thrown in a dungeon, Hieronymous was always there to pull me back out of it when he was ready to be my husband again. Right now, I didn't know how long that would take. Days? Weeks? Months? You want me to punish you? Hieronymous seems dumbfounded. So I learned my lesson? So I don't lie to you? So I learned not to keep secrets? I just don't want you to hate me. Oh, silly girl, I don't hate you. Hieronymous sighs as he shakes his head. When I found out what you were doing for your independent study, I was, of course, incensed, but you were already taken into the other world without your permission. It only stands to reason that you would want to protect yourself, and considering my transparent aversions to that place, I can understand why you would be reticent to inform me of your activities. Oh, It's all I can think of to say as I look down at the floor. I know I should be happy that you're not mad at me right now, but I feel like I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. Hieronymous sighs as he bends down and unlaces his shoes. He takes one, picks it up, and then lets it drop lifelessly to the ground with a small thump. He does it with such a somber, serious expression that I can't help but giggle. That's my girl, Hieronymous says, and I can't help but rush over to him as I wrap my arms around his waist and bury my face in his chest. He purrs my name as he hugs me back with one arm, using his other hand to smooth down my hair. Okay, enough. I told you I was working on my anger, Tori. I may be disappointed, yes, but I'm not going to hurt you. Or yell at me? I ask without looking at him. I'll try to control my temper, Hieronymous says as he rolls his eyes. I won't make any promises on that front, though. Okay, I say as I reach up and kiss him gently. I bump noses with him, and for a moment we just stand there as I let relief flood through me. I pull away from him to start undressing for the night. I pull off my pants slowly, biting my lip as I look back at him over one shoulder. I know how reticent he was to tell me he loved me with his words, but he never withheld physical affection from me. Not ever. On second thought, he ventures, maybe you do need to be punished. Oh? I ask teasingly as I pull my shirt off and toss it to the floor beside me. What did you have in mind?